Good morning, Raider Nation. Let's talk defense with the Las Vegas Raiders because when we brought Patrick Graham from the New York Giants, he was supposed to be the savior of the abysmal Las Vegas Raiders defense, which has plagued the Raiders over the past 20 plus years. And now he has fully rejected a contract extension from Mark Davis and has opted to hop into the free agency for defensive coordinators in 2025. So it is quite likely that Patrick Graham will not be the defensive coordinator come 2025 NFL season. Let's talk a little bit about Patrick Graham. Let's talk about what he's done over the past 3 years with the Raiders and what he hasn't done. But before we do that, I do just want to thank today's sponsor. That is Southern New Hampshire University for sponsoring this video. Guys, if you are trying to get a degree from SNHU, all you got to do is click on the link down below. It's the first one at the top of the page. Go and check them out. Fill out the contact form and just inquire as to whatever subjects that you or degrees that you are interested in obtaining. Because with Southern New Hampshire University, you get the high-tech edge of being able to do your university work while at work on a break, while at home on the couch, at the kitchen table, wherever you want to do it. SNHU is there for you. So guys, go and check them out because saving money any way we can in today's economy is highly beneficial. And most employers don't care where your university degree comes from as long as you have one in the field that you're trying to apply for. Why spend tens of thousands of dollars more on a traditional brick and mortar when you get this same exact accredited degree from SNHU? Save yourself some money, some time. Go check them out. The link is in the description below. Let's get into Patrick Graham and talk about what he's done. So over the past 3 years since he's been the defensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders, we have been ranked defensively 19th, 12th, and this year 23, which is horrible. Now this year had a lot of different factors that you could factor into why the defense was so bad. Injuries being a key one, obviously, but it doesn't really matter because you have a defensive-minded head coach in Antonio Pierce, and you have a highly touted defensive coordinator in Patrick Graham. The defense should have very least been a top 12 defense. However, that has not been the case. And again, you can attribute some of the injuries. We don't have Maxx Crosby out there. However, I would say the defense has actually been playing better without Maxx Crosby on the field than when he has been on the field this year. I don't think that's a symptom in any kind of way of Maxx Crosby when he's out there on the field. Maxx Crosby is an absolute destroyer of games. He is a beast. He gets held on every single play. But I just kind of wonder that when Max is out there, because he gets all of the attention, is some of the other players not playing as hard? But when all of the onus is on these backup guys and other starters, are they now playing harder that Max isn't out there because they're not relying on Max to do Max type of stuff? That's a question for another video. We'll get into it. But I'd love to hear your comments down below on what you think. Why do the Raiders defense, or why has the Raiders defense played better since Max's injury and him going for surgery and not being there? That's an interesting question. Patrick Graham came over from New York. New York had a very good defense. Horrible offense, but a very good defense. And paired him up with Josh McDaniels, and we were supposed to have the A-team of head coach, offensive-minded, and defensive coordinator in Patrick Graham. His first year, we were overall 19th in the NFL on defense. So, again, middle of the pack, nothing fantastic, but also not horrible. Year two, he's a little bit better, and this is partially under Antonio Pierce, especially the last 8 or 9 games. The defense really came on fire for the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's why we finished 12th overall. But this year, the defense came out absolutely flat, and this is why I say you can blame it on injuries, but I don't really buy that. And here's why I don't buy that. Because for the first 4 or 5 games, the Raiders defense was bottom of the barrel. We were ranked like 29th overall. We were last in rush defense. We were second to last in pass defense. And that was with all of our starters minus Malcolm Koonce. Okay? So you can't really blame it all on injuries at that point, because those first 4 games, everybody was out there. Marcus Epps was out there. Christian Wilkins was out there. Max Crosby was out there. Why were we getting absolutely obliterated? Was it lack of preparation? Was it lack of play calling? I don't really know. But I know this. When you're the defensive coordinator and you got guys on your team like a Max Crosby and a Christian Wilkins, and you can't get to the quarterback and you can't stop the run, there's a problem. There's a problem. And to me, it's not a lack of players, because Max Crosby is one of the best defensive ends in the NFL. Christian Wilkins is top 5 defensive tackles in the NFL. Now, I know I've seen a lot of the comments where people are saying, oh, Christian Wilkins is a bust, he's overrated, he's this, he's that. Listen, before he got hurt, Christian Wilkins, maybe he didn't have the sacks, but he's a defensive tackle. That's not why you bring him here. You're not bringing him here to be a sack monster, right? If he gets 9 sacks in a season, that's fabulous. The main reason you bring a Christian Wilkins here is for him to stop the run and to put pressure on the quarterback. And then the defensive ends, they're the ones who are going to get the sacks, because when a defensive tackle runs up the middle, the quarterbacks usually break pocket, get off script, and get out of the pocket. And that's where your defensive ends do the cleanup job. So it was a fantastic tandem between him and Max Crosby. If you go back and you look at Christian Wilkins' play, he actually played very good football before he ended up getting the injury. Now, why he's not back yet, I don't know. Why we don't have an update on him, I don't know. He was supposed to be back in 4 to 6 weeks. He's not back. So that's, again, another question for another video that we'll dive into in the offseason as we find out more information. But in regards to Patrick Graham, the biggest question is this. Should the Raiders make another offer, increase his pay, give him a 4-year extension? Should the Raiders keep him here for consistency, or should the Raiders look to a Marvin Lewis as a defensive coordinator? Should we elevate one of our assistant defensive coordinator coaches? Those are all questions that need to be answered, and they will be answered in the off season. What I want to know is, what are your guys' thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. How are you guys feeling about this? Also, I will link a bunch of Raiders gear right here in the shopping cart. If you want to get your hats, you want to get your shirts, you want to get your Brock Bowers jerseys, go and get them right here. It helps support the channel. It is a paid commission every time you buy a shirt or a hat, so it really helps us to keep making these videos for you guys, and so I really appreciate it. Drop your comments, let me know. I will see you guys in the next video. Let's go Raiders!